I'm going to complete every Assassin's Creed game that I haven't already played for slaying the backlog. If I can't do it by the time this channel gets to 1,000 subscribers, then we will give away one copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So stick around for later in the video where I explain how to enter that giveaway. Until then, let's get into Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1 is easily the most repetitive game that I've ever had the displeasure of 100%ing. And I don't want to hate on Assassin's Creed 1 too much because I know it was made in like 2007, but let's just go ahead and start with the story.
You okay?
I told you he'd be fine. Bastards! Now.
Assassin's Creed operates on a two-timeline story, and I think the series is pretty iconic for that at this point. In the present-day timeline, we have our main character, Desmond Miles, who has been kidnapped by Abstergo. Abstergo is using him for his ancestors' DNA because they've developed a machine called the Animus, which allows them to replay memories from people's DNA. This plotline for me was like a subplot. It's what pulls us through into the Ezio trilogy and what ties Assassin's Creed together as far as I know. At least the games I've played, which is just this one now and the Ezio trilogy. I'm not really sure what happens after that. But personally though, as far as this game's concerned, I don't get enough out of Desmond to feel any type of way about him or this storyline. You're just Desmond interacting with Lucy, really. You don't really interact with much else. I mean, you interact with the doctor guy, but it's not really a focal point, I don't think. The Lucy interactions are more about her than they are about Desmond. The ancestor timeline, or the timeline in the past, follows Desmond's ancestor Altair, and honestly, that's the compelling timeline to me, or the compelling storyline. And it's the main focus of the story anyway, so that makes sense. Altair's story follows the path of him messing up pretty bad in the beginning. And then he gets demoted and stripped of all of his ranks in the Assassin's Guild, or whatever you want to call it.
You will see you have been stripped of your possessions, your rank as well. You are a novice, a child.
And then he has to work his way back up into the ranks of assassins. Here's the breakdown of the story's actual progression. You wake up, you get inside the Animus, you go be Altair, you take out a target or whatever you got to do. You get out of the Animus, you talk to Lucy, then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you get in the Animus, and then you go be Altair and you kill somebody. And then you go to, or you talk to Lucy, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you go to sleep, then you wake up, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you go to sleep. As a whole, the real problem with Assassin's Creed story isn't actually any of that. The problem is that none of the characters are that memorable or interesting. The closest interaction you have, like I've said, is with Lucy, and even that's not that interesting. You get some of Desmond's backstory, and I mean, it's a setup game, so you can't expect it to be that interesting. But that's really the issue. Is there's nothing that really pulls you in and goes, okay, yeah, all right. And maybe it's just because I've already experienced Ezio and I know how much I love Ezio, and maybe that's part of the problem. But Assassin's Creed 1, man, it wasn't really doing it for me, if I'm being honest. With all that being said, let's move on to the gameplay. The main selling point of Assassin's Creed has always been the parkour, at least in my opinion. You would think there would be something like stealth or assassination, but honestly, those things take a back seat when it comes to the sweet, sweet parkour of Assassin's Creed. It's the coolest thing they've ever made, honestly. The stealth gameplay is not that good. Like, there's very little stealth you actually do in this game. But the parkour, now revisiting it in 2024 after playing, 2 Brotherhood Revelations, yeah, it's a little more clunky. Altair doesn't always move exactly the way you would want or expect him to. Sometimes you get stuck just trying to climb the thing that's right in front of him, even though you're like, it's right there, bro. Just grab it. I'm holding up. Just grab the thing. It's still really cool in concept, the parkour is. And it's mostly cool in practice, but I'd say like 2 out of every 10 moves, or it might even be less than that. It might be 1 out of 10. Every time you move, there's a chance it's going to do something you don't expect it to do. Either way, though, the parkour is still cool. It's the coolest part of this entire game. The combat, I mean, if you played like Arkham Asylum or any of the Arkham Rocksteady games, you know the combat. If you played any Assassin's Creed game after this one, you know the combat. I think they improve on it later with more weapon types and variety. This game's really only got 4 weapons. It's not that interesting. But the main problem with Assassin's Creed 1 is the mission structure, repetitive, and honestly the worst part of the entire game. This throws you out of the whole game. Just to break it down for you, there are literally only 5 types of missions, I think. There's Save the Citizens, Informants, Pickpockets, Interrogations, Eavesdrops. 5 types of missions. Now, every single area you go to, there are technically 11 areas you go to. There are 3 different kingdoms that are broken down into 3 sections, which would be poor, middle, and rich. And you have to assassinate a main target in each one of those. But on the way to that main target, if you're going for the 100% like I was, you have to do every single other mission. So the grand total breakdown is 84 Save the Citizen missions, 19 Informant missions, 11 Pickpocket missions, 10 Interrogations, and 9 Eavesdrop missions. That's a lot of doing the exact same thing. And most of these things aren't actually interesting to do either. Like, for example, the entire time I've been breaking this whole thing down, this has been what an interrogation mission is, basically. You listen to a guy talk and you just go beat the crap out of him. And then at the end, Altair takes him out, which is what's about to happen. Like, Save the Citizen is a decent mission type. For Save the Citizen, you go up, you target, you fight some guards. This is not assassin behavior. This is just fighting guards out in the open. And then the citizen will give you either a group of scholars that you can blend in with, or a group of thugs who will fight off or hold off the guards for you. Informant missions are the coolest of the entire bunch. They have a variety of different tasks, like assassinating guards without getting seen, or sometimes Templars, or archers on the rooftop. Like, that one's cool. Then there's these like parkour skill challenges, basically, where it's like collect this number of flags in this short amount of time, which is also kind of fun because you have to run through like a little parkour course throughout the city. And this is basically just the way that these informant missions go. So the assassination ones, at least. So you get, as you see on the mini map there, a handful of targets. And then you just kind of run around. And I found a strat that I call my pro gamer strat. You know what I mean? I'm on the pros. Cut that. Listen, throwing knives are just completely busted in this game. So all you really have to do is, if you just run around on the rooftops so nobody sees you. You might have to kill a couple guards on the rooftops, but if you just run around the rooftops and then you use your eagle vision to get your target, and you just kind of run around and you just throw knives at the targets, and you can get this entire informant missions done pretty quickly, honestly. And that's the best strategy of all time. Honestly, throwing knives in this game in general are just completely busted. And that's a clean informant mission for you. Pickpocket missions are boring. It's just you targeting a guy, 2 guys who talk, or sometimes a girl, whatever. 2 people who talk, and then you just sneak up behind them and you hold B and it just steals their stuff. Like, there's no effort put in at all. Eavesdrop missions are literally the worst mission. That's the bottom of the bottom. You just sit on a bench, you press Y, and you just sit there for a few seconds. There's no interactivity here. Other than pressing the Y button. You're not doing anything. On top of all that, you have viewpoints that unlock the map. I'm sure we're all familiar with the Ubisoft formula at this point. You just, in Assassin's Creed, because of the parkour, you climb a tower. You press Y, it does a little spin around. It's pretty cool the first few times you do it. If you've played Assassin's Creed games before, you probably don't find it that cool anymore. I don't find it that cool anymore. I did 91 of those to 100% this game. The only other things that are required for the 100%, all those missions have to be done before you assassinate the main target, so I did that. You have to get 420 different flag collectibles, and you have to kill 60 Templars. And the flags are hidden, and there's no map for the flags in-game. Like, I know in Brotherhood, I think. It might be in 2 as well, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure in Brotherhood you could buy a map for all the feathers. There's no map to buy to get you everything in this game. You have to use an external website that is also kind of crappy, and then find all the flags that way. Same thing with the Templars. And so when we get to the next section of this, I'm going to get more into exactly why it's so bad. But man, 420 collectibles. If you count the Templars, 480 collectibles. Dude, it was crazy. I think that's all I have to say about gameplay. Like, for the most part, the gameplay is pretty solid. I didn't hate it. I got a little frustrated with the repetitiveness, and I got tired. I didn't want to play it anymore by the time I was done. Like, I was glad to be done. Let's move on to the Platinum experience. For the most part, Assassin's Creed's achievements don't really have anything too crazy in them. Like there's mostly just story stuff. You get an achievement for every area that you assassinate the final target and then get away. The achievement pops when you get away. Pretty much every beat of the story gives you an achievement. That's the majority of the achievements. There's a few combat achievements that aren't that bad, as long as you're just switching out weapons as you unlock them. Because you get some for using combo kills, some for kills with daggers, some for kills with the Assassin's Blade. So it's best if you just cycle them out and then just as you unlock it, go to a different weapon. This particular achievement I'm showing here is for completing 100 fights without dying, I think is what it's for. Which isn't really that hard to do because Assassin's Creed combat's not that difficult. Another notable combat achievement is to take down 25 guards in one fight. This one kind of requires you to leave a couple of guards in the fight and then run to another group of guards and then leave a couple and run to another group. Because I think you can only have like 6 or 7 guards at one time on you. This one took a little bit of time. It wasn't bad. It's another interesting achievement. One of the annoying achievements you have to get is pickpocketing 200 throwing knives. The problem is you can only pickpocket 5 at a time. And so you essentially have to pickpocket 40 different times. It's just a little grindy. There's a few grindy ones in this game. I already mentioned the talking to Lucy achievement, but another one of the achievements you can miss and you have to keep out for is the glitches achievement. This requires you to just kind of mash a button the entire time you're in any cutscene, so you make sure you don't miss it. Just wanted to shout that one out also. My personal favorite achievement in the game is this one right here, where throughout the game you get annoyed by these like beggars who are poor or whatever, and you can actually grab them and throw them. And so there's an achievement for throwing, I think it's like 20 of them or something like that. I actually just found an area where you can do a circle, which you see here, and there's 2 or 3 different beggars, and I just was running around and just throwing them into things. I don't know, this achievement's hilarious to me. It's the best achievement in the game. I actually had fun throwing them's hilarious. Good achievement. That's a fun one. The most annoying achievement, in my opinion, is the 10 minutes in open combat. It literally just amounted to me holding the trigger and not actually doing anything, just letting enemies attack me as Altair deflected them. Like, that's like the stupidest achievement I've ever seen. Like, I felt dumb just doing it. I was just holding the thing, and I'm like, I guess this is what we're doing. We're pretty bored, and this is what we're doing. And so there are 7 achievements for collecting the different types of flags. I'm not going to show all of those, but I collected 420 flags, and all I got was, 7 lousy achievements. That's a t-shirt idea or something. I don't know. But there are 7 achievements for flags. And then for the Templar, it's just 1 achievement. I did have an issue with the Templar achievement. When I was trying to get that one, I realized I was short a couple Templars. And I ended up having to go back through the Kingdom area because I thought that's where they would be, because I read online that sometimes the Templars in the Kingdom don't exactly spawn every time. So there's me actually getting the last Templar achievement. But before we got there, I had to run back through this area, which is like the biggest area in the game. It's got 30 Templars in it. This is just some super sped up footage. Just something in the background while I explain the rules for the giveaway. Okay. I would really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, I'm thinking of doing a little more achievement breakdown kind of stuff in these Slaying the Backlogs. Or maybe we just do achievements only videos or trophies. I don't know. Just some thoughts I'm having. In order to enter the giveaway, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, if I haven't finished every Assassin's Creed game that's on my backlog, I'm going to give away a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. All you have to do in order to enter is comment on this video what Assassin's Creed game you are most excited for me to complete that's still on the backlog. So list at the beginning, all the ones that don't have the X's through them. Just comment whatever one. I'll pick a winner. I'll do all that live when we hit 1,000. But that's all you have to do to enter. All right, back to the video. All right, so you finished Assassin's Creed. You got every other achievement in the game. And the credits are rolling and you're short 1 achievement. Guess what? The game still wants you to just take your sweet time. It makes you run through all the credits. There's no skipping credits. I kind of hate this design, but I get it. Like, these people deserve their recognition. They did work on a game. This game launched one of the biggest franchises of all time. I've said this before. It's just a little bit annoying. But anyway, you get through the credits and the final achievement pops, and everything is good. You 100% of the game. Now, we kind of got to do a recap on my thoughts here. As far as slaying the backlog goes, this is gonna go down as a. I don't think this was worth my time. I think I could have missed Assassin's Creed 1. I'm glad I played it now that it's all over and everything, but if this is on your personal backlog, if you're not a giant Assassin's Creed fan, I don't really think it's worth your time going back. Just look up what happens in the story if you want. If you're a diehard Assassin's Creed fan, I can see wanting to see where, you know, something you love started. And so for all you people who are big Assassin's Creed fans, absolutely go play it. Anyone else who was even thinking about it, just skip this one. Especially if you're a PlayStation guy, like, there are no trophies. This game came out before trophies. And so if you're a PlayStation guy, I wouldn't bother. If you're a giant Assassin's Creed fan, either play it on Steam or play it on Xbox. Get your achievements if you're into that. If not, just play it. But yeah, I would have skipped this one. This is a rare so far in all of Slaying the Backlog. I don't know, we've done 6, 7 of these. None of them have been a miss yet. I've enjoyed every game I've played. This one's kind of a miss. I didn't enjoy it as much. I think it's maybe part of the problem is I've played the later games, some of them, and they're just better games than this game. But that's going to be it for Slaying the Backlog today. Let me know what you thought about the Platinum experience and going over some of the achievements and things. Or if you'd rather see just straight every achievement and just do a video on that, not do any of the review stuff. Like I said, with the giveaway, drop your comment for that. Please like and subscribe to the video. I'm trying to grow this channel. And anyone who watched here to the end, I appreciate you. And you are all goats in my eyes. And just be excellent to each other out there.